essentially said, yes, this is a huge mistake. With Boris gone, it's difficult to differentiate the Tories from the Labour Party.
Yes, my point was that it was extremely hasty to get rid of him. He's a once-in-a-generation politician. He's a serial election-winning machine. And with him out of the way, you realise just quite how mediocre the candidates to replace him are. And there is nothing really to separate them from the Labour Party. And I predict, as a result, they will likely lose the next election quite badly and probably be out of power for, in the column I say, up to a decade.
So, Louise Mensch, that's what Damian Riley says. You were supporting Boris Johnson, but in hindsight, you now think it's the best thing that he's gone.
Well, the fact is, as he said himself, those are the breaks. And I think we can look at people that pushed him out. We can look at Rishi and we can look at Liz Truss. He was underestimated for most of his political career. I will say that about Boris, by absolutely everybody. And I think you're underestimating Penny more than now. Honestly, I don't know how many times Liz Truss has to fail to beat her, this massive Remainer, for you to accept that Conservative MPs prefer Penny by quite some distance. And that is.
But the right wing is
right
split,
now.
Louise. It's split. You know that. It's split between Badenoch and Truss. That bloc combined takes the right-wing candidate to the final two.
If that were true, and it isn't, Liz Truss would have got more votes. I think Penny's best line at the debate yesterday, and it was a killer one for me, was, I am the only person on this stage who has taken a seat from Labour. That's absolutely true. Everybody else is in a cushy, safe seat. She knows how to fight. She knows how to win. She's been doing it since she was a teenager, brought her little brother up from the age of 15. And her decency is what people want. They don't want these catfights. They don't want this sniping. They don't want what you saw. You saw your picture of Liz Truss right there, that you said it was a killer blow. Well, while she was saying that people have been let down, a Conservative government was in power. She's saying she went into politics because people were let down. Well, then she's accusing the Conservatives. And I think when you look at Penny, I was in the trenches in Brexit with her. She's Brexit through and through. She did not stab Boris in the back, and she's the leader that we need. And that's why she is second, not third, like your girl Liz.
I haven't declared. I'm just stating the facts of where it is. Emily Hewitson, you've actually done the flip reverse to Louise Mensch, right? You thought at the time it was right for Boris to go. Now you're looking at the leadership contenders and thinking, what the heck have we done?
Yeah, absolutely. Although at the same time, I think just with quite how many resignations happened, it basically made his position untenable. But at the same time, looking at the top two, which is likely, I believe, to be Rishi and Truss, because I think, unfortunately, the actual Conservative candidate, which is Kemi, is going to get knocked out and most of her votes will go to Truss. So I do think it will end up being Truss or Sunak. And then we have a real problem. It's like picking the trash between the trash. On one hand, we've got Liz Truss, who I don't believe can win an election. I mean, we saw how dreadful she was in that first debate. I just don't think she could even win the membership ballot, let alone a general election. Then you've got Rishi Sunak, and I see all these MPs supporting him. And I just think, what was the whole point of ousting Boris if you're just going to replace him with his right-hand man who supported him all along the way, apart from the last minute when, in fact, he turned out to be a massive snake?
Yeah, and it's a continuation of his economic policy too, which is currently damning the country to a lack of growth and a cost of living crisis.